Living the lavish life of a Russian oligarch is incredibly appealing, with $500 million super yachts, extravagant private jets, and luxuries that even royals can't access. However, being part of Russia's wealthiest families comes with significant risks for you, your family, and your wealth. One wrong move could lead to being isolated from the rest of the world and having all your assets in the West taken away. Refusing an invitation from Putin could even put your life in danger. So, is it worth enjoying all these luxuries if it means living under constant threat? Let's explore. Let's discuss the wealthy lives of Russian billionaires, starting with the Litvinenko family. Vladimir Litvinenko seems to have a knack for being in the right place at the right time. He has been the head of St. Petersburg Mining University since the 1990s, and somehow managed to get a 15% stake in Phosagro, which mines phosphate. His work as a consultant for the company in 2004 turned into shares now worth about $3 billion. It's not an evil retirement plan, right? Vladimir's skills aren't just in academia. He even managed Vladimir Putin's election campaigns in 2000 and 2004. He also oversaw Putin's dissertation, which some say was full of plagiarism. In the Litvinenko family, drama seems to be a regular thing. His daughter Olga, who used to be in the government in St. Petersburg, has had a big fight with her dad. She says he kidnapped her daughter, and in response, he froze her money and said she kidnapped her children. Sounds like a real family bonding experience. Olga doesn't think much of her father's wealth. She describes him as the wealthiest university head in Russia and an oligarch, a title given to rich people. Vladimir made his fortune by making friends in high places and knowing when to move, like when he got more shares in Phosagro at just the right time. It seems like Vladimir's life could be a guide for anyone wanting to be super rich. Step 1, get close to Putin. Step 2 is to ignore plagiarism. Step 3, make a ton of money. But Litvinenko missed out on cashing in on his friendship with Putin. When we look at Roman Abramovich, you'll see how fabulous life can be when you're tight with the Russian president. But before that, let's remember one of the few billionaires in Russia who made his fortune. Sergei Studenikov is an impressive businessman who built a massive alcohol retail empire in Russia without any help from the government. Despite some shady connections and controversial practices, he's known for turning cheap alcohol into a profitable business. Krasno and Belos stores sell a wide range of low-cost products, and he's expanded his empire to thousands of outlets. Despite his focus on cheap goods, he claims to be committed to changing attitudes towards drinking and supports various charitable causes. However, his business practices, such as making employees buy unsold inventory, have raised some eyebrows. Nevertheless, he's seen as a philanthropic figure and is considered a stark contrast to a more notorious billionaire. The story of Dmitry Rybolovlev is like something out of a movie. He's like a classic Disney villain, evil just for the sake of being cruel. Originally from the Soviet Union, he made his $6.4 billion fortune through shady dealings. Starting by reselling factory products and then moving on to become the chairman of Russia's biggest producer of potassium fertilizers, his rise to wealth wasn't exactly squeaky clean. In the chaotic post-Soviet Russia, Rybolovlev refused to work with criminal gangs and instead chose to surround himself with bodyguards, relocate his family to Switzerland, and even stand by as his business partner was conveniently taken care of. He also spent some time in jail facing accusations but was ultimately acquitted when the accuser retracted his testimony. Convenient, right? Fast forward to the 2010, and Rybolovlev sold off his company for $6.5 billion, deciding to live a life of luxury. He bought a Greek island for $400 million, a penthouse in Monaco, and became the majority owner of AS Monaco Football Club. However, controversy always seemed to follow him, from environmental scandals to being involved in the Panama Papers, a leak revealing his attempts to hide assets during a messy divorce. He also got into a drawn-out legal battle with an art dealer over inflated prices on paintings, and lost. But let's leave Rybolovlev to his schemes and turn to another character in this story, Andrei Skocz. This guy can buy everything Rybolovlev owns and still have enough money to build a house for all his 10 children. Yep, 10 kids. There's a man named Andrei S.C., a successful businessman and a father of 10. He's made a fortune of $6.7 billion and has been involved in various business ventures, including bakery and steel production. He's also been involved in politics and has strong connections with influential people in Russia. Andrei owns a luxurious yacht called Madame Gou and an Airbus A319-100 jet. However, the U.S. government has seized his jet due to his ties with the Russian president and the situation in Ukraine. Despite this, Andrei and his family live a lavish lifestyle in Russia, with multiple properties and a vast art collection. It's worth noting that there are some controversies surrounding Andrei's wealth and connections, but it's an exciting story nonetheless. Andrei Gov is a very wealthy person in Russia who is closely connected to Vladimir Putin. In Russia, if you're a billionaire and still in the country, you have close ties to the president. Andrei Gov became rich by making some clever moves. He managed to buy a large part of a company for a meager price when the Russian government took over the owner's assets. Then, he sold the company to another friend of Putin's. In Russia, being in the fertilizer business is not just about crops, but also about making a lot of money. With all this wealth, the Gov family lives a very luxurious life. For example, they own Wittenhurst, the second largest house in London after Buckingham Palace. They bought it through a company based in another country, adding mystery to their real estate portfolio. The mansion has 65 rooms, a ballroom, and walls decorated with gold. It's more of a statement of their excess than just a home. In addition to this, Gov also owns a vast yacht called the Alpha Nero, which looks like something a villain from a James Bond movie would have. The yacht has a swimming pool that can turn into a dance floor. It's not very practical, but who needs practicality when you're a Russian billionaire? The yacht's ownership is a bit of a mystery, with the daughter claiming it belongs to her. Meet Roman Abramovich, a remarkable figure who rose to fame after the Soviet Union's collapse. In record time, he went from a humble street trader to a major player in Russia's oil industry. With a diverse business portfolio that included doll-making and oil conglomerates, Abramovich demonstrated that anyone with the right skills could make it big. Unsatisfied with getting rich, Abramovich spared no expense when flaunting his wealth. His Eclipse yacht is essentially a floating palace, complete with a missile defense system, 2 helicopter pads, and a disco hall. His private jet, nicknamed the Bandit, is more like a flying luxury hotel with a 30-seat dining room and fancy bathrooms. Naturally, with great wealth also comes controversy. Abramovich has faced allegations of bribery and fraud, and his disputes with other wealthy individuals have made for dramatic courtroom showdowns. However, he prefers enjoying his lavish lifestyle rather than actively showcasing his power. In contrast, Suleimankov is an oligarch who truly knows how to live it up despite losing significant money in recent years. Let's talk about Suleimankov, a big shot in the Russian oil industry. He started with nothing and made a ton of money, reaching $21 billion by 2008. But now he's down to just $1 billion. He's got some impressive connections, rubbing shoulders with top Russian leaders, and even getting into politics himself. But Kov's life could be smoother sailing. He's had messy legal troubles and scandals, including fights over business deals and accusations of dodging taxes. On the bright side, Kov sure knows how to enjoy his wealth. He's owned fancy yachts and a fleet of private jets, living a lifestyle most of us can only dream of. Andrei Melnichenko is a billionaire businessman known for success in the commodities market. He started trading currency as a physics student. He went on to found successful companies like Eurochem and Suez, amassing a fortune of $8.5 billion. Despite his humble beginnings, he now leads a lavish lifestyle, owning extravagant possessions like a $300 million motor yacht and a $600 million sailing yacht. His wealth took a hit due to sanctions, but he still has a respectable $1.5 billion. Meet Alexei Mov, a billionaire from Russia who made his fortune in the steel industry. From his humble beginnings in the steel town of Kovrov, Mov rose to become one of the wealthiest people in the world, with a fortune estimated at $25.5 billion. His success story is nothing short of remarkable, almost like something out of a superhero movie. Mov's connections with influential figures in Russia, including Vladimir Putin, have played a significant role in his rise to power. His business ventures extend beyond steel, including a collection of extravagant assets such as a $500 million super yacht called the Nord, the Lady M yacht, a personal submarine, private jets, and helicopters. On land, Mov lives a life of luxury, with grand estates and a penchant for extravagant parties and high-stakes business dealings. He embodies the image of a stereotypical Russian billionaire, exuding confidence and luxury in everything he does. The Mikkelsen family stands out in the world of Russian wealth. Leonid Viktorovich Mikkelsen is the head of Novatek, a major Russian gas company. Born during a time of change after the Soviet Union, he quickly rose to success by getting involved in the energy industry. With a net worth of $27.4 billion, he's well connected, including having ties to Gennady Timchenko, a close associate of Vladimir Putin. Michelson enjoys a lavish lifestyle, owning multiple luxurious yachts and jets for travel and leisure. But he's not all about extravagance. He also has a passion for contemporary Russian art and supports cultural institutions around the world. While Mikkelsen lives a life of luxury, he can't compete with Vladimir Putin's opulence. Despite not being officially the richest man in Russia, Putin is believed to have enormous wealth.